welcome back to the Morning Night Talk Show. Today we're going to talk about organ sales. Okay, as you all know, thousands of people die because they're in need of organs, but none of them are available. So, BTW, for all of you who don't know what the meaning of organ sales is, well, okay, let's say someone is in need of a kidney. Well, another person can give his or her organ for him in order to live. Okay, and this need has gradually increased since 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So now the big question is, organ sales, yes or no? Coming up, I have a couple of famous speakers who are gonna explain about how organ sales and how it's needed. First of all, let's listen to our off-air correspondent, Andita, who is kind enough to send the clip just for you folks, talking about how legalizing organ sales increases supply and saves more people.
Hi everyone, my name is Andita. So I'm gonna talk about the first argument. So the first reason why organ sales should be legalized is to increase the supply of the organs, so more people can be saved. As Elaine said, there are 90,000 people who died waiting for organs. From there, we can see that there is a huge demand for healthy organs, right? Moreover, we can see from this graph. This graph is about the number of people who waitlist, transplant, and donor. The gray line stands for waitlist people. The red line stands for transplant, and the green line stands for people who donor. From this graph, we can see that between the waitlist people with the people who donor is not balanced. There are so many people who need the organs. Moreover, it increases every year, while the donor are decreasing lately. As a human being, we have to do something about this. We don't want to see people die, right? As we heard that 1 out of 5 patients died because the organ doesn't match. If organ sale is legal, we can give them more chance to get a matched donor because there will be more people who are willing to donate their organs. Their organs can be used to replace ailing one and that are hindering a person's ability to live. If organ sales is legal, thousands of people won't pass away every year just because lack of healthy organs available. We believe that if organ sales is legal, the list of waitlist people will decrease because the donor will increase. There will be a bigger chance for people to live. If we can save more people, why not? There's nothing wrong with saving more people, right? Even it is a good thing, right? So the conclusion for my topic is, if organ sales is legal, the supply of organ will increase and there will be a bigger chance and hope for people to survive. And here's the thing, even though organ sales are still prohibited, we strongly believe that it doesn't mean that the act of organ transplant are over. Why? Because people will always find a way to survive. It's like a human nature, right? Like, this means this act of survival will do nothing but support black market, which lead to bad thing.
Next up, let's give a big round of applause to my friend Fadri Attamimi. We'll be talking about organ sales in the black market.
Thank you guys for having me.
Okay, so Fadri, tell me more about buying and selling organs in the black market.
Black market is the illicit buying and selling of goods in violation of legal price controls, rationing, and other government-mandated regulations. In our case, the current law prohibits the buying and selling of organs. Should you want to transfer your organs from one person to another, you would need to donate your organs without any compensation. As a previous guest has mentioned before, there is a significant shortage of organs. Because of this, those that are fighting their lives or have loved ones fighting for their lives, they get desperate. This desperation forces them to look elsewhere for organs, and they end up in the black market looking for them.
So is buying and selling organs in the black market really that bad?
Actually, yes, it is. Buying and selling your organs on the black market is dangerous. There are a number of reasons for this. First of all, you don't know how the organ was obtained and the procedures used to get that organ. That means that there could potentially be unsafe and unsanitary practices when getting that organ. You also don't know where that organ may have come from, so it could have been obtained illegally or maybe even unknowingly. Second of all, you don't know if the organ is healthy. There are no regulations in place to ensure that the organ is working for your disease or even damaged, creating more problems for yourself in the future. And lastly, you could be potentially financing someone else's illegal activities, such as human and drug trafficking.
How does legalizing organ sales solve this issue?
The sad truth is people aren't willing to donate their organs without an incentive. By giving people compensation for giving their organs, we will be able to increase the amount of donors available. Furthermore, legalizing organ sales solves the issue of regulation. The government will be able to regulate the organs to ensure that it was obtained safely and it's a healthy organ as well. Furthermore, by opposing these rules, we will see prices being regulated as well. So that's fair for everyone, and there's no more of this only the rich survive kind of mentality that we live in right now.
So thank you so much for coming here and just spending your time here. We really are grateful that you are here.
Thanks for having me.
So right now we're gonna have a short commercial break, and when we're back, please stay tuned. We're gonna have our guests Celine and Stefan here talking about more organ sales. And we're back to the morning night talk show. Right now I have my friend here, Celine, who's gonna talk about an interesting topic, my body, my property. Give her a big round of applause.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
So Celine, why do you think organ sales must be legalized?
I think that legalizing organ sales would really have a huge impact towards our society. Not only that our organs belong to us, we also have the right to say whether or not we want to give away our donors. I mean, I personally do not see the difference when some woman decides to get a haircut. Getting a haircut is personally like her choice, and she has her own right whether she wants to cut her hair or not. Likewise, I believe that our organs have the same concept. The difference is just that organs are more precious. It's true that our organs are not like our hair that we can grow again anytime, but again, it's the same concept, and so I believe that it shouldn't be actually treated like such a big deal. Another example I can think of is how people can easily decide that they would like to have an eyelid operation. Changing a part of our appearance is considered normal, while on the other hand, giving away an organ that mean no harm isn't. I just can't find a possible explanation for that.
Okay, so that was a good explanation. By the way, people say that organs are not supposed to be moved from one body to another. So do you agree or do you disagree to that?
I strongly disagree. Like I mentioned before, I believe that moving the organ from one body to another won't bring any much harm. For instance, when someone transfers his or her kidney to someone else, the donor won't die from that certain process. The donor can still live on healthily. In addition, it's also really beneficial for the person we wish to help. Isn't it very relieving if you can help someone who is really in need? Just imagine them fighting for their lives but receiving the feeling of hopelessness instead. That's just awful. Moreover, our organs can be replaced by technology. This makes our organs hard to find, and thus, if organ sales are legalized, just imagine how much and how easy and fast it would be to give away donors in time. We can stop numerous deaths from happening.
So that means you believe we have the right to use our organs as long as you yourself agree with it.
Indeed, our body is our own property. Our world today is considered a free place to live in. Why be bothered by such law that I think is not that complicated? The organs that are allowed to be sold would give others the opportunity to stay alive and help those who are in need or in trouble without any further delay. Imagine if there was no time and it was one of your family members that needs a donor. Imagine that the doctors are hopeless in giving any donors away just because of a preposterous reason that the organs aren't available. It's just sad to think how many innocent lives are being wasted.
So after hearing a wonderful explanation by Celine about my body, my property, we're going to move on to my other friend, Stefan. He's going to explain about safety standards. Please give a big round of applause for him.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
So Stefan, tell me, what does legalizing organ sales have anything to do with safety standards?
Action.
That's a good question from you. If the organ sales are legalized, we will have an actual market. Just like a stock market where everyone can see it and buy it. So, just like a regular market, the government needs to regulate new rules to protect both buyers as the recipient and sellers as the donors. So, in short, we need to ensure them under a tangible law. So, under this regulation, they will be secure to get a matching organs for them to transplant. Unlike a black market where you just get it randomly, I think that's the main thing why legalization of organ sales will directly increase the safety standards for the organ transplant.
So that means, what is included in the safety standards that you were talking about?
Above everything, quality control is our main priority. Transplantation, like all medical procedure, carries potential risks for both donors and recipients. Such quality control and management should, however, be a part of all stages of the transplantation process, beginning with the donor identification and ending with long-term follow-up of transplant recipients. A whole range of transplantation-related events will be controlled, including organ procurement, handling, risk of disease transmission, recipient operation, and follow-up. Several international bodies and institutions have formulated statements addressing these issues. The essential idea of these documents are focused on protection of human integrity, avoidance of bodily harm and coercion, exclusion of commercialism, equitable access for transplantation, fairness of allocation, transparency of the allocation, and the staff and quality of the management.
That means, can you please tell us about the benefits?
The benefit? So the safety standards will benefit government, recipients, donors, almost everyone, except the black market. The recipients will be aware to their future organ and where it comes from, whereas the donors get their legal money. The regulation will remove hesitancy, uncertainty, and insecurities for both recipients and donors. The recipients will directly know any potential damage or disease of their future organ, while the donors will comfortably sell their organs without any fear of lawsuit. In addition, government will also be benefited because of the decrement of what's so-called the black market. So, I think that's a huge benefit for everybody except those illegal markets.
Thank you so much for coming to this show. We have to see you again sometime.
My pleasure.
So for our last segment, we're gonna have all the speakers come back and tell us their opinions about why organ sales should be legalized. Some people think that selling your organs is inhuman because they would sell it for financial purposes. What do you think about that?
I think it does not really matter if people sell it for financial purposes. I mean, it does not really bring harm when you sell it because you need some money. But the thing is, we need those organs to save more lives. So, put aside those money-oriented kind of people, we will be able to save more people, and that's the main thing that we pursue right now. And I mean, we don't really force people to donate or sell their organs, so it's really up to them.
Talking about social disparity in the US, do you think it's fair that some people are actually able to afford these organs and some just can't?
So the thing about the social disparity is on the black market, some organ parts are going to be sold for about $100,000 to over $200,000, which is even more ridiculous than the prices that the government will set. So the thing is, when the government legalizes organ sales, they'll be able to create subsidies by taking money from the taxes that would be maybe spent on military or other uses, and then make those organs available for anybody that needs it.
The United States is a capitalized country. It is likely for private companies to monopolize the organ sales once it's legalized. So, what is your opinion on this matter?
I think that the government should apply these kinds of special regulations for these kinds of circumstances so that the government is the only company that will monopolize the organs trade. I know that it's against the United States Constitution to let the government alone to interfere with the economy, but in order to save more lives, I think that we need to put aside our constitutional egos and actually give back to the community as a whole.
Well, there you have it, folks. After watching this talk show, I hope you guys realize that organ sales isn't a bad thing at all. Legalizing organ sales will firstly help level the playing field, give us rights to our own body, and most importantly, save lives. Thank you and good night.